Hi there, my name is Aly Paws from the Yoga Home, and today we're continuing on the beginner series doing back bends. So basically opening up the front body, the chest, the quadriceps. I'm so happy that you're joining me for this practice. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and if you feel inspired by this video, share it with all your friends and family. So let's get going. We'll be seated for this one, so whatever's comfortable for you. If you want to sit like this or cross-legged, more than welcome to do that as well. We won't be here too long, but we just want to do a little warm up. So if you haven't done the other beginner practices, maybe go back and start from the beginner flow. Okay, and it's just a very gentle hatha flow that we'll be going through. And I'll be doing some modified and very clear instructions for you, especially if you're first just starting out with yoga, but also those that just want to go through a gentle flow and not so intense or speedy. Okay, so starting cross-legged posture. We call this Sukhasana. You could just sit like this as well in crossing at the ankles, which lifts your knees up a little bit just in case your hips are quite tight. And, you know, if you have bolsters at home, pillows, anything that helps prop up the knees, you can also put them underneath, okay? So let's sit nice and tall. We'll take a moment to find our breath. As you sit tall, breathe in, reaching the crown towards the sky. And then as you exhale, relax your shoulders down the back body. Feel a softening through the shoulders, the neck, your face. And then allow the breath to come in fluidly through the nose. And then releasing as you exhale. Any tension that you're holding on to, anything that is just stuck in your body and no longer serves you, just start to release that. Good. And we'll begin our practice with setting your own personal intention. Intention is very powerful. If directed in the right area as you feel yourself with this word or affirmation or whatever it is you want to invite in. Let's just use the example of love or joy. You know, something like that. Heart chakra is related to the backbends quite often, so we're opening up these areas, the emotional centers. So really harnessing in that space. Take a moment for your intention. Good. And then I want you to just let the head roll kind of as you do it from side to side, but also roll the head right in towards your chest. So bring chin into the chest and then just roll it from one side to the other. If that doesn't feel good, you can just go side to side with ear to shoulder, just back and forth, okay? Whatever you choose to do, just go really slow at it first. Incorporate your breathing. So the breath really helps to guide you. It also helps you to go deeper into the practice or posture, whatever you're doing. So nice deep inhales and exhales. Now we usually just breathe in and out of the nose, simply because closing the mouth will create this heat in breath. So it circulates into the body. If you feel too hot, you can open your mouth and breathe out. It's more cooling, okay? Good, one more inhale. And we'll come back to the center and then use our shoulders to really warm up through the chest area. So reach the shoulders to the ears as you breathe in. And then exhale to roll them back down the spine. Good, just nice deep inhales. And exhales, rolling in and exhale out. Good, warming up through the shoulder area. So quite often when we do our back bends, we're very, very restricted through the fronts of the legs and our hips because we sit a lot, and our chest. Okay, closing in, protecting. Sometimes if you're in that emotional space where you're in protection mode, it's really nice to open up in these practices through the heart center. So let's start that by opening the heart towards the front as you draw the shoulders back, and you can look up if it's okay on the neck. And then as you exhale, you're closing everything as the navel center draws in towards the spine. You can even bring your legs up and come into a little ball and just feel this nice rounding through the spine. Good. And then place our soles of our feet together, have our hands on our ankles, and do that again. Opening up the chest, inhale, and exhale as you round. Good, inhale. And exhale. Sometimes when the thyroid gets quite compressed or opened, it'll cause maybe some coughing, so that's totally normal. Good. Continue doing it one more time. And then back to center, we'll stretch out our legs in front of us. Sit nice and tall with the arms beside on either side. So turn and flip your right palm up. Now I'm not going to mirror you, so you can do your left palm if you want to mirror me, but I'll just speak for what I'm doing. Right palm is up, reaching up and over. So you'll do this nice side body stretch, breathing into the sides of the rib cage, opening up the heart. Now, if you have shoulder injuries at all and it pinches, bring the hand down to the waist and you can still feel that stretch in the lower back and the side body. Good. Let's come up and over other side. Breathing into it as you stay here. Good, and then coming back to center. So we'll find our hands and knees now. I just wanted to mention something though. If you are following along and you have an advanced practice, then feel free to do the full pose if I only show the modified pose, okay? So that's up to you if you know your practice. So let's come into hands and knees where the hands are shoulder distance, the knees are right below the hips. We'll start with our cat-cow again, lifting the chest and the gaze as the belly lowers and stretches out. Breathing in, and then exhale as you round. Navel center comes in and up. Good, inhale. And exhale. Good, in. And exhale. Nice. Now let's step the knee back about a foot and then the other knee. Okay, so they're equal. Come forward with the hips and the chest. Look forward, bend the elbows so you come all the way down to the ground. Press your belly in, press the tops of the legs in, tops of the feet. And we'll slowly lift our chest. Breathing. Strong through the core, nice baby cobra, and then exhale, sitting back onto the heels for child's pose. The arms are just stretched out. You can have the knees a little bit wide if you want to feel it in the inner hips or just hip distance. Let's take some nice deep breaths in and out here. Good. On your next inhale, we'll start to slowly look up, press our palms in, actually bring them up more towards the top of the mat, and then press your toes in and lift the hips towards the sky. You may need to walk a little bit closer depending. This is your downward facing dog. If you've been working with my other videos, you know that you can bend your knees here to really get
the long spine. And if you're straightening the legs, just make sure that you're not rounding through the upper back, okay? Good. So hanging out here for a couple breaths, pressing through the palms, lifting the toes, strengthening up through the legs. And we're just drawing our belly in and up. Gazing forward, we'll step both feet so they're about hip distance. Inhale, just to come up halfway to open the heart, straight spine. And then exhale to fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach the arms towards the sky. And exhale, bring the arms down. So we'll cycle through a nice gentle sun salutation. Let's reach the arms towards the sky. Inhale, look up. And exhale to fold forward. Take your time here. Just maybe shake out the head and neck. And when you take your inhale, look up, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, step back to plank position. Okay, so the shoulders should be above the wrists. I want you to lower your knees down to the ground. Look forward again. Nice straight spine. Let's bend the elbows all the way, belly to the ground. Point the toes. Baby cobra. Lift the heart. Exhale. Child's pose. Sit back to the heels. Now, if you are not practicing down dog, just stay here. Otherwise, lift the hips towards the sky. Come into your downward facing dog. And breathing. Nice and rooted through the hands and feet. Pressing and straightening up through the elbows. Finding one point of focus. Good. Let's step forward again. Both feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway lift. And folding forward. Coming all the way up, reach the arms. Exhale, release the arms down. Okay, let's do that again, but with some lunges. So reaching the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Good, shake out the head. Lengthen as you inhale. And exhale, step back. Plank position again, okay? Hanging out here, let's lower down to our knees. Look forward, bend the elbows, come all the way down. Point the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, lift the hips up, downward facing dog right away. Now I'm going to take you into this next posture a little bit in an easier way. So let's come down to our knees. And we'll step the right foot forward. You may need to help yourself with the hand. Right foot comes forward. Left knee goes back a little bit into a low lunge. Chest is opening, looking forward. And breathe. Excuse me, I have a dry throat today. Pressing the backs of the toes through the back. Okay, toes into the mat. Your legs are nice and strong, rooting down into the earth. Just finding one point where you can gaze at that softens the gaze as you feel this whole stretch and opening on the left side of the quad and the hip flexor. Now you'll stay here. But let's come up with the torso and have our hands around the waist. So we're really opening up through the chest. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, take the hands back down. Okay, it might be too much pressure, but I want you to keep pressing your feet into the ground so you really start to lift off through the torso. Or you can interlace your hands behind your back. That feels really good as well. Just something to get the chest open.
Good, one more breath. And exhale, bring the hands down. We'll sweep this leg around and back. Left foot comes forward, stepping forward, bringing the hips forward a little towards the ground. That knee may need to go back a little bit. And hanging out here, let's press the right toes into the ground. Feel that pressure. Lift the heart. Breathe. Find one point of focus. And really start to feel the different sensations that's happening around that right hip flexor area. Maybe through the front of the right thigh. And we want to hold it long enough to really start to feel the tissues, the connective tissue, the fascia, softening, right? Feel this release and lengthening. Good. So press through your feet, come all the way up with the torso. Hands at the waist or interlace behind the back, and then lift the heart. Feel that nice opening in the chest. And drawing the shoulders and elbows back. Good, one more breath here. And exhale, have the hands come down. And then let's just step back to downward facing dog. Bending the left knee and right knee. Let's walk out our downward dog in one spot to release the legs and the hips. And then we'll look forward, step both feet, hip distance. Inhale, lengthen through the spine and fold forward. And come up on the inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And then exhale, release the arms, interlace behind your back. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale to fold forward. Good, put energy into the feet, all four corners, spreading the toes, and stay connected with the fingertips and the palms, the energy in the hands. As you broaden through the collarbone and really open up that space. Keeping the legs strong, transfer weight a little bit into the toes. Now, if you are someone that may be just right here, that's okay. You're getting a lot of opening in the chest just by standing and doing this. Or even bringing the hands just right here. So do what you can today. This is the point of yoga practices. We really want to accept where we're at in the moment. And yes, of course, we want to challenge ourselves to grow. But, it's really important to just be here with you. What is your body able to do right in this moment? And you gradually, slowly feel the opening with attention on your breath. So just really breathe into it. Eventually your body responds with the exchange. Good, one more inhale. And slowly come up as you press through the feet. And exhale, release. Woo, shake it out. Feel the blood flow. And then let's step. So as you're separating your feet, about a leg's distance apart, spread the toes, have the hands on the waist, lift the chest, inhale. And exhale, folding forward. So hang out here. Maybe this is your spot. If your back is sore, bend the knees a little bit. Create a little bit of strength through the legs to really root down into the ground. Draw the navel center in to support the back body, but keep bringing your shoulders back so that you can feel that opening in your chest. If you're all the way down, fold, go for it. Don't lose that awakening in the front body though. So you're drawing the shoulders and elbows back.
energy through the feet and the legs. Good. Just come up halfway, slide the hands down by the knees, just above the knees. Open up your toes, heels come in towards the midline. Start to bend the knees even more. And then press into one side, just kind of lean into it, into the center as you look to the other side. Breathing. Good. And then the other side. And we'll come back to center. Come all the way up, shake it out, and then let's step towards the top of the mat again. Okay, so a very modified dancer position. We'll be transferring the weight to the left leg, and all you're doing is bending your right knee, okay? If you're able to grab your foot, great. If not, just work on your balance, having both hands on the waist and one point of focus. If you are grabbing your foot, you want to flip your palm upwards, bend your elbow, so it's about a 90-degree. Elbow point is in the side of the body, and it stays in that position. Then you grab on the inside top of the foot, okay? Or just the outside. This is another video. I was going to go further with that, but that will be another video, very detailed video. So let's just, if that's what you're doing on the outside, if you can grab the inside, great. Okay, bring the feet back together, the knees back together. Bring the left hand up. Now, you can just stay here if you want, just to work on your balance. That's great. You're also getting a stretch through the quad and then the front body. Now, you can do this pressing your hand into the wall if you need the support or a chair, okay? So just go with that, whatever it is for you. If we're just doing a little bit, start to move the heel away from the back body. You're not diving forward at all. You just want you to stay lifted with your chest and front body. Heel is coming back. You're opening up through that pectoral and bicep muscles. Okay, reaching. And maybe you're going into a full pose today. I'm not sure where you're at in your practice. This is very beginner series. So take your time with it. Just get the balance down. Okay, if you're still in it, start to come out. And then we will move to the other side. So transfer weight to the right side. Grabbing on to the left foot or ankle. And or just hands at the waist, working on your balance. Remember, the focal point, which we call drishti, is very important. So stay connected with that. Breathe in as you lengthen, and then start to move the heel away from the bum, but stay lifted in the chest, okay? You're not, I mean, you can go into full pose if that's where you're going, but just work in steps for this. Take your time with the breath. And then slowly release when you're ready. Okay, Tadasana, feet are hip distance. Take a moment just to ground into the earth. Feel the roots into the earth. Release the upper body, shake it out a little bit. Good. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale as we fold forward. Good. Inhale, partway lift, and then step back. Plank position, knees down, bend the elbows, slowly lower to your belly. Come onto your forearms into your Sphinx Pose. Okay, so the elbows should be below the shoulders. Hands are shoulder distance apart, fingertips facing the front. Root down through your palms, your pubic bone, your tops of your legs, and tops of the feet. Start to lift the chest, broaden through the chest and collarbone, and then you can look up if you want to get a bit of a stretch in the throat. And bring the chin to chest to get a stretch in the back of your neck.
Couple more times. And then look over your left shoulder and over the right shoulder. Good. Now with your left forearm, you'll be pivoting on your left elbow. So the hand comes towards your body. Still stacking bone upon joint through that shoulder is above the elbow. And then your right knee bends for half frog. So holding on to your foot. And if not, maybe a strap. If you are not grabbing your foot at all, it's just way too tight for you, just hang out in Sphinx Pose and get that nice front body opening, okay? So if you are really open in this posture, you're just guiding your heel towards the outer right hip and maybe the elbows to the sky as you press your palm into the top of the foot. And then lift through the chest, breathing. Keep rooting down through that left forearm. Nice, smooth breathing. Good, one more breath. And exhale. Let's release, we'll switch sides. So grabbing onto the left foot. And one may feel a little tighter than the other. This is how it operates through our bodies. But just soften into it as you direct the breath to those areas. One more breath. And exhale.
And press both palms in.
Let's slowly come up. So we walk our knees towards the top of the mat to fold the mat a couple times just for extra cushion. You may not need it though. So whatever works for you. You'll be standing on your knees hip distance. Okay. So that means about 2 fists distance. For Ustrasana, Camel Pose. So let's get nice and tall. The hips are neutral. And when you go into it though, it'll do a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, which means it goes back as your hips go forward, okay? So really focusing on the hips going forward and the sternum lifting up and out. So we'll start. Now, we're not doing full pose today, but you definitely can do it if that's what you're used to doing, grabbing the heels. But I'm gonna take you through just a very beginner modified. So your hands are either wrapped around your hips. I like the heel of my palm right into the sacrum so I can guide it down a little bit and out. So what you're doing is just bringing the shoulders back, guiding the hips forward, putting activity there, and then opening up through the chest. Now, if your neck is sore, just look straight ahead. If you're able to bring it back, you can bring it back. And just breathing. So wherever you're at with this. Okay? Now, like I said, we're not doing full pose today, but if you are, go for it. It's a beautiful posture. I'm just kind of doing the modified right now. Inhale and then exhale. Bring yourself back to seated, just on your heels, sitting nice and tall. Close the eyes and breathe. Hands are on the thighs. Nice neutral position. Breathing into it. Good. And then we'll come into our seat and lay down all the way to our spine for our back bend. So lay down to your back. Bend both knees so the heels are close to your sit bones. Your feet are going to be parallel. Have the hands pressing into the earth. As you start to press your feet into the ground, lift your hips off towards the sky. Okay, your heart will come towards your chin as you lengthen the back of your neck. And we'll just stay here. I'll invite you to go a little bit further by interlacing the fingers behind the back. And that's just getting the humerus bone externally rotating underneath the back. Pressing the feet in and lengthening the tailbone. Breathing. Good. And then slowly release the shoulders. First, rolling down through your whole spine and stretch the legs out in a nice neutral position to let the bones settle and realign back to position. Let yourself relax with every inhale and exhale, feeling the heartbeat. Good. Next inhale, bending the knees in towards the chest. Feel that nice length in the back body. The release in the hips. You can even separate your knees to feel the inner thighs stretch out a bit, rocking side to side. Bring the knees back to center. Arms are just beside you, T position. Not too high, but just enough so that it can support you when you go over to the side. So let's shift the hips to the left a little bit because you'll be bringing your knees up and into the chest and all the way over to the right. So you want to have your hips in alignment with the spine. And then you can roll your head to look to the left if it's okay on the neck. And then just breathing as you soften this whole side body. Relax the shoulders, the face. Good. Let's inhale. As we come back up, shift the hips all the way over to the right and then bring the knees to the left. Relaxing your gaze. Good. Inhale as we come all the way back. And rolling up to do our counter pose, forward bend, Paschimottanasana. So stretch out the legs in front of you. Let's lift the chest and heart. Sit nice and tall as you breathe in. Exhale to fold forward. Your hands are behind the hamstrings, drawing your shoulders back and down around straps or the big toes or edges of the feet. Lengthen. And exhale, fold. And really feel that fascial point right from the bottom of the heels, even the soles of the feet, down through the backs of the legs and up through the back of the spine towards the head. Good. 2 more breaths here. Keep rooting the legs into the earth. And inhale to lengthen. Exhale, scoot forward. And let's lay down on our back again, bringing the right foot flexed right above the knee. Okay, we can keep the left foot down on the ground for this, or on a block, and then just feel this opening. If you don't feel anything, obviously just pick up that foot, the left foot, interlace the fingers behind the back. So most of you have done this recline pigeon before. In the past, I've called it thread the needle, but just waiting for the sirens to go by. So yeah, in the past I've called it thread the needle, but there's another form of thread the needle, so we'll just call it recline pigeon. Softening the shoulders. Good, and let's release that side. Coming in to the other side as your left foot flexed right on the right leg, just above the knee. If this is too much for you, let go of the binding behind the right leg and that right foot just comes to the ground. Or even sometimes I like to put my right foot into a wall. That's a good one as well. Good. Inhale and exhale, release. Let's bring both feet down to the ground and let your knees sway from side to side. Softening through the SI joint in the back. Good. And then we'll stretch out our legs and arms for Shavasana, our final resting pose. So let the legs be heavy, relax, feet flop out to the side. Allow the torso and the arms to settle. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. Allow the face and the skin to melt and soften. The jaw and the tongue. And both shoulders and elbows and palms. The whole spine. Completely surrender into this space. Just allow this nice soft rhythm of the breath as the belly rises and falls, in and out. Letting go of any holding on or tension. Just feeling the freedom. Let's take some time to bring back that deeper breath. And just moving through the fingers and toes. Stretching out through the body. And we'll bring our knees in towards the chest. Roll onto your side body. Take some time there first before you move. Good. Next inhale takes you up. And we'll just come to seated, sitting tall with the eyes closed and just noticing any differences in the body, in the mind. Maybe you feel a little bit more open in the heart, maybe a bit more vulnerable, which happens, more sensitive, and just feel into that. And we'll take the palms, rub the palms, deep breath in, exhale out. Good. Placing the hands in front of the heart center. I bow to the divine in you and the divine in me. Namaste. Have a beautiful day or night, whatever time this is for you of the practice. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much.